Working for you tonight, a classic case of not in my backyard. The push and pull when it comes to building a facility that could help thousands of people and the efforts it could have on a Broad Ripple neighborhood.
Well, when the road freezes, it becomes a solid sheet of ice. And so we have school buses, we have commuters, we have students driving, and you can't stop.
Drivers want a business to stop pumping water onto a busy road. Working for you tonight, we are finding out why it is being done and how the city is responding.
And then a native Hoosier who suffered a traumatic brain injury and nearly died proves to the world once again there's no stopping him.
This is RTV6 News at 5. Working for you.
Good evening. Tonight, a controversy and a heated discussion over this project planned for Broad Ripple Park. Is it a waste of time and space or a necessary resource for the community?
Within the hour, the city approved a zoning change, allowing for a new family center and community health clinic at the park. We've been following this for months.
And as RTV6's Megan Sanctorum shows you, while city leaders say the center is needed, some neighbors say they're still against the project.
This is what Broad Ripple Park's family center looks like right now. And this is what it will eventually look like. These are images from the Broad Ripple Park Master Plan website. The current family center will be demolished and replaced with a new facility. It will have a gym, track, fitness area, and primary care facilities for Community Health Network. But some residents say they worry about the impact this project will have.
More traffic, the safety issue, and we don't need a new family center.
The project is part of a partnership between Indy Parks and Community Health Network. While some residents oppose public-private partnerships like this, Indy Parks leaders say this is a new and creative way to fund the $19 million project they otherwise would not be able to afford. Still, some say the project just isn't needed.
There has been a recent overdevelopment surge in Broad Ripple. Consequently, our beloved park should be a peaceful respite from overdevelopment, a place of refuge.
Indy Parks leaders have told us they hope to start construction in the next few months. Working for you, Megan Sanctorum, RTV6.
And the Department of Metropolitan Development released a statement saying in part, quote, the city of Indianapolis is extremely supportive of the project, end quote. And it went on to say we will continue to work with the developer to complete the project agreement, finalize design, and then begin construction of the new family center. Now to developing a story from Hancock County where an entire school system is shut down due to illness and will be closed again tomorrow. The superintendent of Eastern Hancock Schools closed the district's high school, middle, and elementary schools today, and they will be closed again tomorrow. He tells us students are suffering from the flu, strep throat, bronchitis, and other ailments. He stressed this is not an outbreak of coronavirus. When the absentee rate hits 20%, state guidelines call for schools to be closed. Students are continuing their studies through e-learning. The school is doing deep cleaning of the school buildings and buses.
Now to Muncie, where people living next to an excavation business want the business owner to stop pumping water onto a busy road. RTV6 is working for you, getting answers tonight for drivers who are concerned about their safety. Tonight, our Nicole Griffin spoke with the business owner to find out why he is doing this and getting answers from the city after neighbors filed complaints.
It's just not a safe situation for anybody to go down through there.
Doit Grossman and his wife Joanne live on Shirey Road in Muncie. They sent me this video showing water being pumped from the business next door into the road.
By flooding, I mean it floods, it stops traffic. We have to go down to one lane. It's a hazard.
The couple lives next to Bainey Excavating Construction and says it's an issue they've been dealing with for at least 2 years.
They siphon the water with a great big, looks like a fire hose, and they put it through a PCV pipe up here on the road under the fence, and it floods the entire road.
I'm always afraid I'm going to hydroplane or somebody else is going to hydroplane to somebody's yard, trees, whatever.
I talked to David Bainey, the owner of Bainey Excavating Construction, and he says he is sorry that his neighbors are frustrated. He doesn't like pumping the water out of the gravel pit any more than they like it, but he tells me the reason why he has to do it is because it floods the garage where he keeps his tools.
I have mentioned multiple times what a hazard it is for him to do that. And he says, well, it has to be done. That's my low spot. Someday we'll fix it.
Bainey did not want to talk on camera, but tells me this spring he's planning to start construction on a new building on his property. That means he will no longer need this garage and plans to fill up the gravel pit.
We heard that 3 years ago. We heard it 2 years ago. We heard it last year. We heard it last fall. It's not been done.
The city of Muncie's engineer has spoken with Bainey and the Grossmans. He says they are currently working to identify and develop a resolution to this problem. A statement sent to RTV6 says the city is actively working with the city attorney, the Muncie Sanitary District, and the city council, which may need to draft an ordinance to resolve the issue and address concerns brought up by the Grossmans. Working for you in Muncie, Nicole Griffin, RTV6.
And we have asked the city engineer to keep us updated on any developments. Plus, we'll continue to follow up to see what's being done. The business owner says the increase in rain over the last few years has caused an increased need to pump water from the gravel pit. We asked if there was another option to pump water in the other direction. He says it would require a larger pump and pipes, which would be too costly for him at this time.
Now in the Storm Team 6 Tracking Center with Chief Meteorologist Kevin Gregory, still a pretty nice day out. We've kind of been rolling with these nicer temperatures lately.
They'll crash Friday, but then come right back. So I'm just giving.
So
it
just
to
prepare
you.
for that, but it will be fine after.
It stays windy too. I know a lot of people are asking, when is the wind going to stop? This is time of year. Big temperature changes, big pressure changes means big wind, and we've had winds gust over 30 miles per hour again this afternoon. But that's calmer than yesterday, where the gusts were over 40 miles per hour. Right now, wind out of the west-northwest anywhere from 10 to 15. That will calm down tonight, but kick back up during the day tomorrow and on Friday. It's been a beautiful afternoon. This is just looking over the second turn at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway to downtown Indianapolis. We'll see clouds increase later tonight. 48 in Peru, temperatures mid-50s to the south. It will be colder tonight. Temperatures with skies clear early fall into the 30s. Then by 11 o'clock, a few more clouds show up and 38 degrees. There are your morning temperatures. Lower 30s, even some upper 20s to the north. One more trip into the 50s, and then something happens Friday. I'll talk about that shortly.
Now to the latest on the tornadoes in Tennessee that killed at least 24 people. We learned today that at least 6 tornadoes touched down in Middle Tennessee and the Nashville area in the early morning Tuesday darkness. At least one of those packed winds of 160 to 160 miles an hour. The governor has declared a state of emergency and sent in the National Guard to help with search and rescue efforts. And those 6 tornadoes do not include Putnam County, which is where the city of Cookeville, about 80 miles east of Nashville. That's where the highest number of deaths occurred. It stands at 18 right now, but about 17 people are still unaccounted for. Search and rescue efforts continue there. Storm assessment has not yet begun in Putnam County.
Democracy 2020 and the race for the president tonight. Another candidate is out of the race for the Democratic nomination, and another is assessing her options. Former New York Mayor Michael Bloomberg suspended his campaign today after failing to win a single state yesterday. Bloomberg is now endorsing Joe Biden, who made a huge comeback on Super Tuesday. Biden won 10 of the 15 contests yesterday, including a surprise wins in Massachusetts, in Minnesota, and Texas.
And we're told, well, when you got to Super Tuesday, it'd be over. So I'm here to report we are very much alive. I've always believed that defeating Donald Trump starts with uniting behind the candidate with the best shot to do it. And after yesterday's vote, it is clear that candidate is my friend and a great American, Joe Biden.
Well, it now appears to be a two-man race with Bernie Sanders, who holds a commanding lead in delegate-rich California. That race still hasn't been called. Sanders also took victories in Utah, Colorado, and his home state of Vermont. Now, Elizabeth Warren is still in the race, but after coming in third in her home state of Massachusetts, the senator's staff says she's talking to her team about the path forward.
The end of the 2020 legislative session is just days away, so we wanted to see what still has a chance of becoming law in Indiana and what does not. State House leaders will try and finish the session by March 11th, a week from today. Let's start with what still could become law. A bill that could lead to the removal of Attorney General Curtis Hill has advanced. It would create new standards for the position. If Hill's law license is suspended, he would no longer qualify. Cities across the state would have staff to enforce new panhandling laws under a bill that passed the House. One of those laws would prohibit panhandling within 50 feet of parking meters or restaurant entrances. And a bill prohibiting Hoosier employers from forcing its employees from getting devices implanted in their bodies is headed to the governor for his signature. And a couple of bills that will not become law this year. A bill that would have given pregnant women more accommodations at work has failed. And a proposal to pay for gun training for teachers who want to carry guns in the classroom has died. Teachers can already carry if the district allows. There was disagreement on it if it infringes on gun rights.
Much more to come this hour on RTV6. Time to be counted. The census helps the government allocate money for communities that need it. And now there's a change to help you save time while also helping expedite the process. That's ahead at 5:30.
Now minutes away here at 5, more deaths from the coronavirus right here in the U.S. And for the first time, not just in Washington state. What we are learning tonight.
And in relative terms, we're surrounded by warmth. Temperatures above average just about everywhere. Cooler temperatures you see to the north and east pushed out temporarily. Talk more about that coming up.
Bot.com and make your home a dry-bot home.
The death toll from the coronavirus is now up to 11. Death reported today in California, the first outside of Washington state, where the number of deaths is now 10. There are now more than 110 cases of the virus in the United States in at least 15 states, none in Indiana. Vice President Pence says there are more than 1.5 million coronavirus tests available at hospitals throughout the country. In Italy, all schools and universities will close tomorrow through March 15th due to the virus. And the Italian government has also ordered all sporting events to take place without fans until April 3rd due to the coronavirus. The roller coaster on Wall Street continues. The Dow closed up more than 1,100 points today. That wiped out yesterday's losses and then some. Experts say stocks surged for two reasons today, medical and political. One, the hope for more measures to counter the coronavirus, and two, on Joe Biden's big Super Tuesday wins.
Jeopardy host Alex Trebek is once again being very public about his battle with stage 4 pancreatic cancer, and today he is marking a milestone. He posted a message online today to mark 1 year since his diagnosis. He stunned the world last year with the news that he was diagnosed with the very deadly disease. The 1-year survival rate for people with stage 4 pancreatic cancer is 18%. He was happy to share that he has reached that mark. He was also very candid about how hard it's been, including pain and depression, but he vowed to keep going.
You know, my oncologist tried to cheer me up the other day. He said, Alex, even though the 2-year survival rate is only 7%, he was certain that 1 year from now, the two of us would be sitting in his office celebrating my 2nd anniversary of survival. And you know something? If we, because so many of us are involved in this same situation, if we take it just one day at a time with a positive attitude, anything is possible. I'll keep you posted.
Trebek is 79 years old and has not faltered in his work, continuing to host the popular quiz show, including Jeopardy, the greatest of all time, which aired here on ABC in January. We are all rooting for him.
We are all pulling for him there. Well, what a night for Columbus's Josh Speidel as he took the court for senior night at the University of Vermont. It was his first taste of collegiate action after an amazing comeback story. He was a highly touted recruit out of high school at Columbus North, but suffered a traumatic brain injury in a 2015 car accident before he could play a game. Vermont kept him on scholarship. He battled back and was always part of the team. Well, last night he started the game against Albany. Through an agreement with Albany's coach, Speidel made Vermont's first basket, completing a lifelong dream of scoring in a college basketball game.
I think back to 5 years ago, and that didn't seem possible. I think me and my parents, we always believed, but that was a far off dream. That was a dream. And just to sit there today and score the layup and just to see my name in the box score and just, okay, I did it. This hard work was for something.
Wow, and as you can imagine, Speidel received a standing ovation as he came out of the game. Vermont won 85-62. And it's senior night at Hinkle Fieldhouse tonight when Butler takes on St. John's. It will also be a bittersweet night for Bulldog mascot Trip. and his handler, Michael Kaltenmark. After 8 years, Tripp will be working his last game at the Fieldhouse. He's retiring at the end of this academic year. A message on his Twitter account today read, "I've given it everything. I've loved it as much about anything, and I'll miss it more than all things. My heart will forever be at Hinkle." Look at him there. Over the weekend was the official passing of the collar ceremony from Tripp to mascot in training, Blue 4.
Sure, he has a lot of good bones waiting for him after that. Well, Indiana's own Tony Stewart will be back on track at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway for Brickyard 400 weekend. The NASCAR Hall of Famer announced today he will compete in the Xfinity Series race on July 4th. This will be the first Xfinity race on the IMS road course. Stewart is a two-time Brickyard winner on the oval. He was inducted into the NASCAR Hall of Fame this year. Stewart's last NASCAR race as a driver was at the end of the 2016 season.
He's not retired.
Not retired.
Not yet, right?
I've got a different view here. Well, I'll show it to you in 1 second. I got to do things in order here. I'll take you out to the Speedway in a second. Let's have a cup of coffee together. And someone was saying that she tried this and then looked like...
Good thing she's got a backup there.
She rejected it. A good day for basketball. As Hoosiers, we know any day is a good day for basketball. If you need to clear the snow off of the court,
not a good day for basketball.
You know, George McGinnis didn't become George McGinnis without working hard. You had to pave the way and clear out the lane sometimes. Okay, now this is what I wanted to show you at the Motor Speedway. Something's going on with the scoring pylon. I don't know what the different colors are there. Maybe they're just kind of adjusting it. And then off to the far right, parking is available. As you can see, the field is probably a bit soft there. That's just across Georgetown Road, and it's the straightaway area. Temperatures take a noticeable hit. Friday will feel cold compared to where we've been, just because temperatures will be in the 30s, and we'll have the wind gusting to 30 miles per hour. The colder it feels to end the work week, the warmer it will feel once we get to Sunday and Monday, as temperatures rocket back to around 60 degrees in the late weekend hours. Just to the south, there's lots of rain from Louisiana through Mississippi, Alabama, and Georgia. We may see some of the clouds from that southern rain tonight, especially late overnight. 48 in Logansport, 50 in Frankfort. Temperatures into the southern portion of the viewing area, Bedford, Seymour, Bloomington, Columbus, all in the mid-50s. I love this. Stella stepped right up to the camera for her close-up.
She is ready for it.
Put me on the news,
Truly a close-up. Yep, Stella, thanks for saying hi. Carol Sommer shared that picture with us. Temperatures in the 40s, falling into the 30s tonight. Bye-bye, Stella. Temperatures tomorrow, they're colder than we've been at least the last couple of days, lower 30s. By noon, we're at 47, and afternoon temperatures in the mid-50s, again windy, gusting over 20. I picked this up at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. There'll be a little system that may generate a few rain showers, especially over the northeast portion of the state. There they are at 7 o'clock in the evening. Not widespread, just kind of hit and miss, and then they'll quickly exit the area. The wind, once again, becomes a story, gusting over 20 miles per hour. Tomorrow night into Friday, chance for maybe a couple of snow flurries mixing in with some rain showers. The chance for rain on Friday diminishes very early, so we'll call Friday dry through the day, with more clouds in the morning and more sunshine in the afternoon. Definitely colder, back to the winter coat, but you'll wear that just for a day and a half. By Saturday afternoon, temperatures warm to around 50, and as you get to Friday afternoon, remember, we spend all the day in the 40s just trying to hit the 50-degree mark. We change the clock ahead 1 hour when you go to bed Saturday night. Wake up on Sunday. Sunday's high 60. That is the warmest temperature in the 7-day planner. It's wet also early next week. Monday and Tuesday, rain is likely.
Sunday's looking great, though.
Sunday looks very nice.
Thanks, Kevin, for that.
We may come from a long line of daredevils, but now he's going above and beyond, trying something his ancestors only dreamed of. The toxic gas and volcanic danger that Melendez is ready to face. It's coming up when the news continues on RTV6.
Hiring Hoosiers only on RTV6.
Now, tonight, the man known for going to unbelievable heights is going to take a chance and try his longest and highest walk ever.
Nick Walenda is getting ready to walk over Nicaragua's Messiah volcano, one of the most active in the world.
He'll walk an 1,800-foot-long wire across the crater of the volcano, the lava bubbling beneath, reaching up to 2,200 degrees. Walenda will be wearing a gas mask and oxygen tank to work against toxic gas and wind. We got to talk to him about it, and while Walenda doesn't advise you to jump onto a tightrope, he does hope his adventure inspires you on an everyday level.
I will have a little bit of fear. I'm human. I'm real just like anyone else, but I will still take that first step. And hopefully everybody will get on my back and ride my shoulders to the other side. And I believe that as a whole society, we're all walking on a wire and we're all trying to get to the other side. And by what I do, my hopes are to encourage and inspire other people to take that first step because they too can make it to the other side.
Well, that big event is happening tonight. Volcano Live with Nick Walenda kicks off at 8 o'clock only here on RTV6. You don't want everybody on your back, though.
I don't think so, but we'll be rooting for him. I just won't be taking a tightrope walk across the volcano. But cool to watch. Good luck to him. All new at 6 p.m., he blew the whistle on alleged sexual misconduct involving a teacher and student. Call 6 investigates with why this former TriWest employee says he is afraid for students and their safety.
But first on the Now, Indy, financial burdens lifted. The local church helping families wipe out millions of dollars in debt. You're watching RTV6.